Hello guys, welcome back to a Roblox script tutorials video. I apologize for not having uploaded earlier on this week. I've been having renovations at my house and it's been pretty noisy in here, so I couldn't record. But I am back now, and today we're going to be starting a new series, kind of like a town roleplay series. First thing we're going to do today is a team selection GUI, so when the player enters your game they can choose what job they want to be. So first thing you're going to want to do is come up here to model, come over to service, and then click teams and then click insert. And what that will do in your Explorer menu, it will add this teams folder. You're going to want to come over here, right click it, insert object, and click team. Then you're going to name this team whatever you want. So let's just name this one civilian. Oops. Civilian. I think that's how you spell it. And then you're going to want to turn this auto assignable off, and you can change it to whatever color you want. I'm just going to change it to a green. You guys don't have to copy me for this. You guys can do whatever team you want. The script will work either way. Then we're going to copy and paste this as many times as we want and change the job names accordingly. So let's make this one police. Make it a blue. Firefighter. Red. Let's do a taxi driver. And also, this doesn't have to be a town roleplay. You guys can do this for any game you want. It could be a Star Wars game, a sports game, I don't know, a first-person shooter game. If there's teams involved, you can use this. I think that's good enough for this starting one. Yeah. Come up here to workspace, and we're gonna click filter enabled. And I will do a video on filter enabled later on, but just know that if you want people who have accounts that are under the age of 13 to be able to play your game, you need to have filter enabled on. And also filter enabled makes it a lot harder for exploiters to exploit your game. So it's always a good thing to have that on. You're going to come over here to your starter GUI, right click. And then we're going to insert a screen GUI, and we're going to call this team select. Inside of this, we're going to make a folder, and we're going to call this scripts. And we're also going to insert a frame. We're going to make the background transparency 1, and then we're going to change the size to 1010. And we're going to name this mainframe. Inside your scripts folder, we're going to insert a local script, and we're going to name it client script. Up here where it says print hello world, we're going to do what we always do. Made by, you're going to put your name, Captain Lettuce. Oops. And then you're going to do last updated on October, what is it? It is the 8th today, 2017. So last video we did this top part a bit differently, but we're going to start doing it like this from now on. And we're going to change this last updated every time we update our script. So first thing we're not, or it's not first thing we already did. The first thing, next thing we're going to do is the dash dash, and we're going to write constants. Sorry, constants. Actually, I like doing the two. We're going to do local GUI equals script.parent.parent. Local mainframe equals GUI.mainframe. That's it for constants for now. Next we're going to do is variables. Oops, and we're going to put local team chosen equals nil, because they haven't chosen a team yet, obviously. And then I think that's it. we can come down here and type main. So this is where all our main code will be. First thing we're going to want to do is we're going to make a blur object. And what a blur object does is, if you come back to your main page here, go into lighting, right click and insert blur, it's going to blur your entire view area, which is really nice for GUI effects. So we're going to write local blur equals instance dot new blur, and then we're going to do game dot lighting. Oh, it's not called blur. What's it called? You see, right now I wrote this and it has a blue line under it, under the blur. That means that the object I'm trying to create is not actually a real thing. It's telling, like, Roblox is telling me that I messed up. It's actually called a blur effect. Because filter enabled is on when we create this, only the player that is looking at the GUI will see this. Everybody else won't be affected by this. We're going to come down here now. Actually, we're going to go back to our main thing and we're going to set up our GUI. So let's insert a blur just for this here. Come down to your main frame. We're going to insert a scrolling frame. There it is. We're going to set the position to 0.5 on the X. And actually, no, let's go a bit more than that. Let's do, actually no, 0.5 should be fine. And then 0.3. Now let's do 0.2 on the Y. We're going to set the size to 0.8 on the Y, and then 0.4 on the X. Actually, we're going to change it to 0.7 on the Y, and 0.45. There we go. We're going to set the background transparency to 1. And then we are going to insert, where is it? List, UI list layout. We're going to create one team button here just for reference, I guess. We're going to set the size to 1, and that should be fine. Get rid of that. Or not get rid of it, just make it transparent. Then we're going to insert a text button. We're going to name this, let's just name it test. We're going to set the size to 0.8 and 1. Set the border pixel size to 0. We're going to change the color to, let's do a dark green just for testing. Change the text color to white. Text scale to true or on. Font, you guys can do whatever you want for that. Actually, we're going to make this a bit smaller. We're going to change the size of that frame to 50. And inside the text button, we're going to add a frame. And we're going to, okay, go back to your text button, come down to Z index and change it to 2. And you see, now that we changed it to 2, it will be on top of that frame. So what Z index does is it determines the order of the way, like the order Roblox will draw your GUI stuff. So the lower numbers get drawn first, and everything after that will get drawn on top of it. It's a bit, it could be a bit confusing to explain, but just know that it works. Change your size to 1, 1, and your position to 2, like that. Yep, that should be fine. We're going to change the background color 3 to black, and border size pixel to 0. So now that kind of gives it like a nice 3D effect. We're going to change this text button name to team button, and then we're going to add in a text label. We're going to change the position to 0.8, then change the size to 0.2, and then -12, and 1. We're going to make that transparent. Change the text to white. Change the text stroke transparency to 0, so it kind of gives it a nice outline. Text scaled, and you guys can play around with whatever font you want. And I'm just going to use this as an example, like a 10 and, or let's do 5 out of 10. So what this is it's the number of players currently on that team. So you guys can set restrictions. Say like you only want 5 police officers at your game. You can make it 5 police officers only. We're going to name this num of players. Alright, and then we're going to move this test frame into our client script and name it temp. Actually, that's a bad name. I always name my stuff temp. Let's do it team frame temp, because it's like a template. So what we're going to do is we're going to do for I, comma v in pairs game.teams get children do. So for each team it's going to do this. It's going to do local temp equals script dot team frame temp clone, and then we're going to change the values of our template to reflect the actual team properties. So let's do temp dot team button dot text equals v dot name, temp dot team button dot background color 3 equals v dot team color dot 3, or team color 3, and then actually I want to test this game dot teams dot, let's please get players. Okay, yeah, so we can do that. Then we'll do temp dot num of players dot text equals v get players with the colon, not a period. So if we, oh, actually we forgot one thing. Then we're going to do temp dot parent equals mainframe dot scrolling frame. Let's test this. Team color 3 is not a, what do I do? Oh, v.team color dot color. That's what I meant to do. And another typo. It's get players, not get player. Oh, okay. For this v get players, that will give us a list of the players on the team. We only want the number, so we're going to put a hashtag in front of that. That should work. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So we see that we have all our teams here. Police, civilian, firefighter, taxi driver, and there's currently 0 players on all those teams. Let's go back and let's give it a bit of give them a bit of space. So if we put 10 in that padding for the UI list layout, it should give it a nice buffer. We can even go a bit more than that. Let's go to 20. That's pretty nice there. So now we have to add the max values to all our teams here. So we're going to go insert object, and then we're going to go to number value, and we're going to name this max amount. And you guys can change your max amounts to whatever you want. I'm just going to do some random ones. Because civilian is it's going to be like such a popular team, I'm actually not going to put a max amount on it. I'm just going to remove it. For police, I only want 10 police in the server, firefighters, maybe 5, taxi drivers, let's go 8. So we're going to come back to our script, and we are going to do we're going to come up above the line where we set the number of players text, and we're going to do if v find first child max amount, then, and we're going to copy and paste this. At the end of it, we're going to do dot dot quotation mark slash quotation mark dot dot v dot max amount dot value, and then we're going to do else, and then if it's else, we're just going to put we just want the max number. So what that should do, it should, okay, so because civilian doesn't have a max, it's not going to show what the maximum amount is, and because these ones do have maxes, it says what the max is. If we change our team to, let's say, the police one, why isn't that working? And then we reset. It says the firefighter has 1 out of 5 players. Nice. So now we're actually going to set the max values for the teams. We're going to do temp dot, oops, wrong, I should have been in here, sorry. Temp dot, team button dot mouse button click connect function, and then we are going to do, we're going to copy this here, put it here, and we're going to do if hashtag v get players is less than v dot max amount, then, or sorry, we're going to do equal or bigger equal, then we're going to just do return. So if it's bigger, it's just going to stop the script right there, and if it's not, it's going to keep going down. So it's going to do, we're going to come up here to our replicated storage, make a new folder called remote client. Remote client, make a new remote event, and we're going to name this team change. So now we're going to do game get service replicated storage dot remote client dot team change fire server, and then we're going to add v. So now inside our server script service, we're going to do, oops, we're going to name this one main server. You can just copy and paste this up here. Actually, copy and paste all that, and then just remove the stuff we aren't using. So constant for this would be local remote client equals game get service replicated storage dot remote client dot team change. Then in main, we're going to do, oops, sorry, get rid of that team change. Remote client dot team change dot, what is it again? Actually, this is perfect time to bring up something. If you don't know what to type, or you're wondering what something does, if you click F1 while you're in Roblox Studio, it will bring you to this wiki page. And while you're at this wiki page, you can search whatever you want. Right now, we're talking about remote events. Oops, that was removed. Remote event. So we're going to click that, and we can see everything here on the wiki. We can see what each thing does. So when we say fire server, it fires the on server event using the arguments specified with additional player argument in the beginning. So when we do fire server, the other script that we're doing, the server script here, it will be able to see the player name and the team that we sent it. So it's called on server event. So we'll do on server event connect function player team player dot team dot value equals team. Let's try this. Mouse button click is not valid. Text button. mouse button one click. How about that? There we are, civilian. Team is a nil value. Why is that? Well, we are sending it. So we're going to do a debugging thing here. We're going to do print v.name here. And here we're going to do print team.name. So what we should see is civilian twice when we click civilian. And we do. So why is it not working? Alright, whatever. We'll just change this to chosen team. How about that? Line 17. Oops, that was a stupid mistake. Line 18. Player.team. Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, it should work. Not value. We're not doing team not value. That's what the problem was. Alright. Yeah, okay. And then we have to add a dot value here. Okay, that should fix it. So now if we choose civilian, it'll put us on the civilian team. Choose police, it'll put us on the police team, etc. We're going to also add one more line of code before we head out. We're going to delete those prints because we don't need them anymore. Oops. We're going to put this into spawn function while true do, or sorry, while wait do, and then we're going to put this in here. So that will update the, if we do that, that will update the amount of players on the team all the time. So the second another player joins the team, it will just automatically update. So when they're selecting their team, they can see a live count of the team members. Alright, so in the next video we will actually no, we can do one more thing in this video. We are going to do, when the button is clicked, GUI destroy and blur destroy. So when we click civilian, oh, one more thing, we have to get rid of that blur in the lighting. That was just for testing. So when you join the game and you click civilian, the GUI goes away and the blur goes away. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I will be recording a few videos today so I can release them throughout the week. So keep your eyes peeled on our Discord channel, which is in the description. And make sure you guys subscribe to this channel, turn on the notifications, and give the video a thumbs up. See you guys in the next video.